Welcome, everyone, to the Commentary Podcast. I am your host, Pat Brennan. Today on the podcast, we are going to be continuing our Christopher Nolan director series. We are going to be watching his next film in the series. It is Memento. It was released in 2000. It is directed by Christopher Nolan and also written by Christopher Nolan. The film stars Guy Pearce, Carrie Ann Moss, Joe Pantoliano, and Mark Boone Jr. The film follows Leonard Shelby, a man who suffers from amnesia, resulting in short-term memory loss and the inability to form new memories, uses an elaborate system of photographs, handwritten notes, and tattoos in an attempt to uncover the perpetrator who killed his wife and caused him to sustain the condition. Joining me once again for this Director Series podcast are my two co-hosts, Vikash Patel and Martin Padilla. I will drop all of their info in the episode bio once again, so please give them a follow. Now I'm going to be watching the Blu-ray copy I have of this movie, but it is currently streaming on Peacock. It is also streaming on Roku with ads, and it is also streaming on Canopy for free. But it is only available to rent on Vudu for $5, so you would have to purchase it on Apple for $20 and on Amazon for $13. So I say we get things kicked off. We are going to be pressing play on Memento in 3, 2, and 1. Newmarket. Never heard of that company. Only in this movie.
I wonder why. I've heard of Summit, though. Summit's still kicking.
I'm surprised we didn't get the Syncope logo, considering the following did it.
True.
Yeah, it's probably because he just gave that to Criterion and was like, here.
Oh, that's interesting. This man has all the credits up front. It's been a minute. Did they shoot this before Matrix or after Matrix? Because
Matrix was 99, so this is probably his next movie that he shot. What's his face?
Joe
Pantoliano.
Yeah.
Joe and Carrie Ann Moss.
Yeah, little Matrix reunion.
Yeah. I mean, that's just where I look at it, because like I always remember what I've seen first. I saw Matrix so many times before this. David Julian, he scored this and then Insomnia and then Prestige, I think. Dodie Dorn.
Prestige
the only
was,
woman.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, actually, I scratched that. Nolan actually works with a woman again, Jennifer Lame. She just won her Oscar. So
Yeah.
I love that.
We were just talking about Sundance, and this premiered at Sundance, I'm pretty sure, too.
That would make sense.
Wally Pfister DP.
A great great partnership between those two. I mean, what is it? From this all the way to Dark Knight Rises, right?
I think that was his last one, or was it Inception?
Dark Knight
One of those was
Rises.
his last one.
Oh, you can tell the change up with the Interstellar.
Mhm.
Respectfully. This is so cool, man. This never not feels. This is just always cool. Guy Pearce doesn't get his credit as like a chameleon actor.
Yeah, I feel like he just like never took off.
Have you all
Iron
seen
Man 3 is
Lawless?
probably his biggest. Oh, yeah, Lawless. It's pretty good. I want to say Iron Man 3 is probably his biggest role. Funny enough.
Probably. And even then,
Yeah,
he
he's
should
like
be
one of the more
bigger.
forgettable villains.
Yeah. I feel like this
there's
is what
some
people
drama
probably
there.
know. This or like LA Confidential.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Lenny.
that. Oh, the guy that's in that dude can't counter his name. He's in Batman Begins too. Huh?
Yeah, Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Why your kids don't like falafel? Oh, there was a billboard for something back there. Did you see it?
It was Hollywood Homicide
AutoZone.
with
Oh, was
It was
it?
like Hollywood Homicide with Harrison Ford and Brad Pitt. I think it's in that movie.
Okay.
See, that's why Pat's here is because he knows all the trivia.
I do that all the time when like, especially like when newer stuff, like when they're shooting in like LA and New York, and I see what posters in the background, I know exactly what time of year they shot this. Like for next year, I'm looking to see like a Barbie or an Oppenheimer poster like in the distance. Be like, all right, I know this was like July of that year. This was they were shooting that.
You know, whenever Succession was huge and like the last season came out, I remember seeing like an Avatar Way of Water like billboard and like on top of Attack. You know, like I was like, this was November.
It's like
There's
in Birdman they have the Man of Steel poster.
Yeah.
yeah, there's an area in like the valley out here where the poster like in front of it like ripped down and behind it was Eagle Eye. It was like still
Bruh,
there. And it was
Eagle
left
Eye.
there. Like it became like a thing where you didn't touch that poster. It would just sit Eagle. Like literally was there for like 5 years. I think they eventually like removed it. But you could just drive past and it said Eagle Eye. Like this
If
fall
anyone
or
hasn't
something.
seen Eagle Eye and you want like a good thriller, man, just a fun ride.
July is solid. It's been a while since I've seen it though. Did I ever tell you guys about this guy that showed up to this costume party dressed up as the guy from Memento, and it was a completely wrong like costume?
No.
What do you dress as?
Okay, so get this. There's this like thing that they do monthly at this local art house theater where they do like an anniversary screening for like a movie and they show it on film, and it was for Twilight. And it was like they do a costume contest every time, and so people dress up like a character from the movie. And this guy showed up dressed as the guy from Memento, and
Bruh.
like they narrowed it down to like 5 people, and he still somehow was like in the top 5. Like people were like, "This costume is hilarious." He even
Did he
had like
just
a
like
book
not
and everything.
know?
No, he thought it was for the day. Like he went to the wrong showing.
Oh.
He thought it was that one, and it was for like a month later.
These interiors look a lot like Batman Begins.
I think that's a
Like
compliment.
how they're shot.
Yeah.
Especially when it's looking down at Lenny. Not Lenny,
Yeah.
Joe.
Not Lenny, Joe.
Yeah. I'm like John Mulaney. I don't say character names. I'll say actor names.
Same way.
Yeah.
I never say like the characters.
Have you guys seen that like on the DVD? I don't know if it's available on the Blu-ray as well, but like there's like a way to like make it to where you can watch the whole movie in chronological order.
Oh really?
I have.
What is it?
I haven't watched it.
I don't know if it's available on the Blu-ray, but there used to be a thing like you know how like there's like those secret things on the menus how you can like
Yeah.
access it. Yeah, it like if you do something in the menu, I can't remember how it goes, but like you can watch the film in chronological order and like plays the whole way through.
I feel like that'd be a good like second watch of this movie.
Yeah. It's a nice pen. I like the ink, the way it writes.
Yeah. They actually remade this movie in India. It's called Gujni, and it stars a pretty like one of the biggest actors in India. And I'd argue, at least from like certain audiences, it's definitely a better movie somehow than this one. It's not, completely the same, but they they pretty much keep the base, and like the dude is actually like jacked and he's got all the tattoos and all that, but
Mm-hmm.
very high grossing movie in India actually.
Dude, there's 2 different versions. It looks like there's one in 2005 and 2008. The one from
Oh yeah,
2008
I'm
is like
talking about the
3 hours.
2008 one. The 2005 one is from like South India, and then the 2008 one is from Bollywood.
I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna watch this someday. It'd be so funny if we like planned to watch this and actually put on the Indian version instead. We were just watching the
Like,
same
wait,
movie.
what,
And I
what
was like,
scene
"What
are
are
you
you
guys
talking
at?
about?"
Yeah.
This guy always gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like he just looks like something's been going on.
He's in Sons of Anarchy too.
Checks
Of course
out.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if he walked into a casting office, I'm like, yeah, you ride bikes.
You don't even have to. You don't
You
have to
ride
wait.
bikes. I do not trust you. I turn around and walk the other way, sir. No offense. Offense, actually. Do I know you?
You know, in a way, this is kind of like 50 First Dates.
Kind of. Yeah.
What 50 First Dates is a funner movie, I'd say.
I always found his like bleached hair like so distracting when I first
I
watched
like
it.
it. I like it. Because this is after obviously LA Confidential, where he's,
Mhm.
he's playing a completely different character in that movie. The uptight, whatever
Mhm.
cop.
And I remember the first time I watched this, about 20 minutes in, I was like, I have no idea what the hell is going on.
What's going on? Yep, yep. Same here. Afterward, then you watch it again, like, oh, clarity, finally.
Yeah. You're like, oh, I'm dumb.
That one was like you
But
benefit on
it's
a rewatch. It's like Tenet adjacent, like the same thing.
Nolan, man, just likes time. Big time guy.
he's the one who's gonna direct the remake for Back to the Future, right?
Could you imagine?
Oh, I know it'd be hell, but I'd watch it. But it would be so different if he did it. I had a friend actually when we watched this in high school in our film, like we were in film class, we didn't watch it for film class, but this man literally got ink pens and he was like lighting it up, trying to do tattoos. I'm like, bro, we are not in Memento. That I didn't remember. I haven't thought about that in literally 10 years. I don't know why I remember that, but that really happened. Like we're sitting in our editing room and this guy was like lighting up pens.
That's hilarious. See, that's why we do this. It jogs the memory. Like him, he's remembering things. See? It's all connected.
If it was me, I'd just write like Chick-fil-A's closed on Sundays. Don't forget.
Yeah, like, God damn it. And it's always Sunday, so.
Like this the way the scene would go. It'd be I would drive up to a Chick-fil-A. I'd walk up to the door and there'd be no one answering. I'd be like, "What the hell's going on here?" Then I'd look at my wrist and be like, "Oh shit, what's this?" And I'd roll up my sleeve and it'd be like Chick-fil-A's closed on Sundays. And I'd be like, "Oh," and I'd walk away.
Oh yeah, just for anybody who doesn't know, so the thing that he has in this movie, it's called anterograde amnesia, not retrograde. Retrograde is the one people usually know, but this one, there's a part of your brain where in like the 40s or 50s, like scientists, they would like cut people's part of their brains out just to see what would happen. I don't know what they were doing, but that's when they figured out that this is actually a thing that happens. So that's your science fact of the day brought to you by my useless STEM career degree.
Do you think you'd watch the same movie every day because you never remembered it?
I
Well, here's
mean,
50 First Dates.
Basically.
It's like
it's
the
got to be
Sixth Sense.
like it's got to be like Back to the Future, The Dark Knight, like something that like always hits. Inception.
Because it'll always hit every time because you've never seen it before, technically.
Nah, it's got to be Interstellar at that rate. I'm gonna just be crying every day. You can pick up all the little details, little by little. I think this is one of those movies where it's like, yeah, it's a lot of detail in the script, but you also need like a script supervisor and like all this continuity stuff with like, the marks on his like, on his cheek and all that sort of stuff. It's a nightmare. But Nolan likes nightmares. That's just what he lives within. I was
This and like
rewatching the I think it's the scene in Tenet where they are transporting the woman and everything is just going in backwards and they're going forwards and I'm just like,
dude.
oh my God.
Watching that in that 70 mil IMAX screen, dude, I was like, this is insane. Like, how did he do this? The whole time I was watching, I was like, this is impossible.
I'm gonna get some of those moles checked, dude.
He's got one.
Yeah, there's
here's the mind killer.
There's definitely people that were like, I want to look like this. Like they probably went to like a tattoo parlor and like all of this on me.
Someone was like, "Are you sure you want this?"
Why not?
This feels like he's playing like the biggest game of Clue ever.
Yeah.
Just like honestly, like instead of paper, he's just got his skin.
I always thought this movie, like at least when I saw it, I thought it was just like a noir film to me. I remember I rewatched Blade Runner, and I actually started liking Blade Runner, and I don't know why, but I was like comparing it to this movie when I first saw it.
Vikash, you're in the same boat as me, where you watched Blade Runner for the first time, you hated it, and you watched it again, you loved it.
Yes, yes. Literally, me and my brother, we rented the DVD from the library when like in middle school, turned it on, and it was like, oh, this is not an action movie. What is this trash? Because we had just gotten done watching the Indiana Jones trilogy for the first time. So it was just I just returned it.
You were like, I'm in.
Yep. And then I watched it again and it hits like a bag of bricks. I'm like, oh, this is just something else.
I was the same way. The first time I watched it, I hated it, and I watched it again, and now it's like one of my favorites of all time.
Oh yeah. That and 2049.
2049 is insane.
I feel like this and Prestige were movies. As soon as it ended, I immediately rewatched it. And then like when you watch it again, you're like, oh, it's so like obvious. He's like telling you
That was
everything.
me with Inception, but like just because it was, blowing my mind. I did watch this like 3 times within like 5 months though when I first saw it. I just realized this movie is pretty much cast with all character actors. Like no one like Guy Pearce has had his lead movies, like random ones like Lockout and these random like, just across board random
Lockout.
stuff. Yeah. But everyone is pretty much character actors.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking about
Probably a lot of
Sammy,
them
like
were.
Steven Toborowski. I can't say his last name, but like he's in random stuff from like sitcoms and like Silicon Valley. Like he's just in shows as a comedy guy. Because I guess it pays the bills. But he's a great, dramatic actor.
He will help you out of pity, bro. Same.
I do love these voiceovers in this movie where it's like it's almost monotone, but it's like you can feel there's something going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not Blade Runner Final Cut bad. Or not Final Cut, but like, theater cut.
Director's cut.
Theater cut.
We don't see sunglasses like that anymore.
I mean, my mom has them.
Very. I know. I think my mom still has.
Carry on Moss, man. Just consummate smoke show. Respectfully.
Like this is like the amount of like close-ups he does of like her dropping the sunglasses down in this movie is by far the most he's done in any movie. Nolan.
That's true. He doesn't do too much close-up work, but
Like that, yeah.
I think he realized that close-ups take a lot more time, especially if it's the actor doing them. So he
Hmm.
just makes his scripts to where he doesn't need them. If that make you understand what I mean? Like it's just like I don't need these shots. Like let me just write it so I don't ever need those shots. And then you have someone like Edgar Wright where it's like close up, a close up, a close up, a close up, a close up, like edited together.
It's strange though, because I mean, even then, everything is so precise, and it feels like there's close-ups even when there's not. Like there's so much focus,
Oh yeah.
like airtight and everything too.
Vengeance, you say. Matt Reeves definitely watched this movie. I'm vengeance.
And the random cuts to the close-ups like also relate to like probably like his character. Isn't like his mind is like constantly moving, trying to figure something out. But then he
Yeah.
can't remember it after like 15 minutes. So like like this is a diner they shoot at in LA all the time.
But it ain't the one from Pulp Fiction,
I
right?
think it's in no, I think it's in maybe like Glendale or Burbank somewhere.
The woman
I
that
don't
plays his wife. She was in I think it's NCIS New York. That's how I knew her. Or sorry, I mean CSI New York.
same thing.
Pretty much. Dad show, New York.
I've never watched like any of those, like CSI, NCIS, whatever it is. I think I watched a few episodes of Criminal Minds, and I just could not do it.
I this just I grew up watching it essentially. Like, I don't know.
I think I watched like 10 episodes, and I was just like, these are all the same. Every single episode is the exact same.
Oh, that's exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. It's just there it's like mind-numbing mystery stuff so I can watch this and go to sleep. That's about it. It's a wind down. It's not a wind up.
It's probably like the longest scene in the movie.
What's crazy? He's already forgot about the beginning of it by now.
Yeah.
He's like, what am I doing here?
He's like, wait, how did I get here? Yep, you're right. That's where I'm staying.
You think he's got like a stack of Polaroids just like going through,
He's just
like
got
Pokemon
cases on
cards?
cases at some point.
Wait, what were you talking about? He does kind of
I
look
will
like Brad
say,
Pitt though. If you have like on
yeah,
that
that's
when he turned around there, he looked like Brad Pitt.
a little hunky. But the hair, like you said, the hair is
This was Brad Pitt like year before Oceans, no? So like
yeah.
he had that like blonde, like frosted tips.
Oh,
The
from
same
Gwyneth
kind of suit
Paltrow.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you all have seen the funny thing where it's like he always copies his partners. Now that looks like him. You know, put on glasses. That looks like him in L.A. Confidential.
Mm-hmm. Slicked back hair. He don't like slicked back hair
No,
though there, but
true. Now I'm gonna watch L.A. Confidential. Like, I really love that movie.
Watched that like one time, like 10 years ago, I think.
I remember this like Jaguar. I feel like everybody had this Jaguar. This is like whenever I think of Jaguar, I think of this car.
This, my neighbor
Like
had one growing
this
up.
model. I think my grandfather might have had one.
But Joe is one of my favorite like character actors. This Matrix, freaking Bad Boys.
The Sopranos,
Sopranos, yep.
Ralphie, freaking horse murderer.
All like at this time too.
Like he could be someone that like you relate to, like you like confide within, like you understand, like you want to be around this guy, but then he can like just turn around and just be the villain.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, within 2 years, that's exactly what he did, right? Matrix and this.
Yeah.
Stop betraying people, man. Like seriously, like
Pays the bills though.
damn right. I mean, I don't know how much these paid the bill, but I mean, it paid the bills.
Yeah.
$9 million movie, as we were saying yesterday.
Right. Like a couple 100,000 maybe.
Tony Stark was in a cave. Nolan cooked it up, man.
It is interesting how all of his like movies, I guess, besides like the Dark Knight movies, but um, just deal with the same exact themes of just time.
I mean,
like,
even the most crucial part of the Dark Knight, which is the scene after the chase and the interrogation and all that, like where was she? All that is
Yeah.
very much a time thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the
And
time
then he
there,
literally has the countdown on like the
yep,
fairies of like the bombs. Like
that's
it's
true.
like, dude.
Time horrifies this man. That's what it is. He knows you can play with it, and it's gonna mess with you emotionally somehow. Whether it's Interstellar with the 40 whatever years, or if it's this with not knowing your memory,
Mhm.
this antrograde amnesia.
I think it's awesome. I mean, he uses editing to his advantage a lot, and it kind of definitely is able to influence the story and how you perceive everything. He understands editing very well. I think is a good way of explaining that.
Especially in this
100%.
movie. Because he makes you feel like you also have no idea what's going on and you have no idea what time it is.
Bro, I'm getting confused. This is where I start to get confused. Like, wait, what?
And I think this is like when I first watched it, I was like, wait, like what is happening right now? Like, did I miss scenes? But that's the point.
You guys know in No Country for Old Men, whenever he gets like one room and then he gets the other room like completely adjacent to it.
Yes,
You
yes.
see
Yeah.
that, except for this guy's just being an asshole, and the other guy is just like trying to like.
Yep. He was being real smart in No Country.
Dude, No Country for Old Men is so good.
The Coens have so many good movies, but I think that's their best for me. It always has been.
Yeah, I'm curious to see actually, like you said, the the cut that has the actual like timeline order.
Yeah.
If it's on the Blu-ray, it's not near me, but
You can probably find it like a used media store. I just read about it. It says
I'm sure someone's probably uploaded online somewhere too.
so the limited edition DVD and the standard Region 2 edition allows the movie to be watched in the exact chronological order of the events in the film. The first couple of scenes of the regular cut of the movie appear normal in this version, meaning they are not reversed. However, this version of the movie on disc 2 is quite difficult to reach. The user must answer several questions and solve a puzzle, and forward, reverse, and chapter skip capabilities are disabled. So
That might be the
it's kinda
most
crazy.
2000s DVD feature thing I've heard in a good way.
I need to find
Yeah,
out.
that's like
Can you imagine being the one to find that out? Be like, oh, you can watch this in order.
see that's when they don't make even like the physical media. It's not just like because when I put this in, there was like 7 trailers that played in front. I was like, they don't put
Yeah.
trailers in front of like on movies anymore. It just
Yeah.
opens to like a bland menu and just play.
Yeah, like a
Because
menu
the
with
problem
like
is now,
4 little options at the bottom. You got play, scene selection. There's like
Yeah.
one major picture, but that's it.
you just unlocked a memory. I totally forgot that they used to have trailers on DVDs and obviously on VHS too. I remember on the Batman and Robin trailer or Batman and Robin like the movie. They had one with the song like Born to Be Wild, and I always listen to that trailer because I always like that song.
I miss DVDs having trailers in them. It like makes you think of the time that the film was released in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I feel like coming soon to theaters, and it's like maybe they came out in like 2005. Like,
My friends, they have like the nostalgia for it for like the Disney movies, and I'm like, I didn't watch that many Disney movies growing up. I remember all the adult movies that my parents bought that I shouldn't have been watching.
On VHS, you'd be able to like stay after like if you fast forwarded towards the credits, you could watch like the like music videos or like special features. There's always like 10-minute scenes or something like that, like how they did the movie.
Oh yeah. I remember watching the Rush Hour extras. Those were like some of the first extras I watched. Not that we're gonna talk about that individual, but
Rush Hour is good, unfortunately, just made by a shit person.
yep.
and I like
I
the
don't.
because I rewatched this yesterday too. But I just didn't realize like he uses like a lot of just like even like really weird close-ups, like him getting up the bed there, just like on his like belt.
Yeah, like right here too.
It's a placement of confusion with the shots, and
Hmm.
that's a bold thing to do because we know how Nolan shoots. Nolan shoots very few takes. He knows exactly what he wants for the most part. He does not waste time, and to be this confident with something this risky, jeez, this is riskier than probably anything he's done, honestly.
I was reading about this movie one time, and apparently, like studios were scared of wanting to buy it just because they all thought it was really genius and smart, but they didn't have the faith that like audiences would understand it, so they wouldn't like
Hmm.
invite a bunch of studio heads to like a screening of it. And the same thing with Donnie Darko, like he was a huge advocate for that movie.
Yeah, I feel
Interesting.
like if you release this today, audiences would probably be like, "I didn't like it. I didn't get it."
Audiences would give up with it halfway through it. Like if it did well
And
in
then
theaters,
you'd have like 18,000 YouTube ending explained of Memento ending
They
explained.
actually, I usually, anytime we do a movie for any podcast, I like go to YouTube just to see what the temperature is there because there's always people making videos about movies that we probably love. And this one, it very much is ending explained, ending explained, Memento explained. And I'm just like, watch the movie. If they didn't explain it in the movie, then they're doing something wrong. And I think
Yeah.
every single filmmaker is doing their job properly.
the thing with any movie that has like an ending explained is those videos are made for people who watch movies on their phone the entire time. Like they don't
Hmm.
pay attention to the movie. They'll like half watch and then half
Ah,
on their phone.
you're true. You're on the money with that because
So
it'll
they'll
be
miss the
anything like
scenes.
it'll be like Dune explained part one explained. It'll be
Yeah. It's not even ready to read the
like Black
book.
Panther ending explained.
It's insane.
Could imagine an ending explained for a Marvel movie of like, what didn't you get in that movie?
It'll be like the most straightforward movie. It'll be like ending explained. It's just like, is it that we need an ending explained, or you're just taking 10 more minutes out of your day to watch a video that you could have just paid attention to the movie for?
I just
How
realized that's Thomas
I
Schnauz
know. Tell young Tom Lennon or whatever is that his name?
or
Yeah, Tom
Tom
Lennon.
Lennon, not Schnauz. I'm thinking of the guy who one of the guys that wrote Better Call Saul.
This other, I
But
forget this
yeah,
other actor's name. He's a big time character actor.
He's in
but
Garfield.
he's in this, and then he's in The Dark Knight Rises as the doctor, like I said on the
Oh
following
yeah,
one.
that's
He's
so
in
funny.
Garfield the
He's probably like
movie.
friends with Nolan.
That means that Nolan is seeing Reno 911, and that makes me happy.
And
His
I love you,
his Reno
man.
911
He's
box set is sitting right next to his Fast and Furious box set, right next to his Oscar.
Bro, we already talked about this. This man doesn't keep box sets. He just has all the film rolls. He
All the
has to
film
print this
rolls.
yeah.
stuff. He just goes to his basement. They got a guy working the Blockbuster, and he just turns it up for him.
You think that he has Han's car? Like he bought it, you think?
I probably not knowing him. Doesn't seem his vibe. If I was him, I would have a bat pod, I'd have all the cars. I'd have everything. I'd have like the bird cage from like Prestige. I'd have that. I'd have so much stuff. I'd have one of the glass tanks from Prestige in my house if I was him. With like
Hugh
Hugh
Jackman doll
Jackman
in
in.
it.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep, yep.
Heath Jackman's still in it.
That's what I was about to say. You can't tear that.
Yeah.
Why are those
But I love
statues
that. I
from
love that
Memento?
little like he can't remember anything, but he can remember you have to burn those.
True.
That's like I love that. Yeah, I feel like Guy Pearce should have taken off way more.
I mean, it's luck, isn't it? I mean, it's not like he hasn't been around, but it's like
He still
it just
does
never
stuff here
worked
and
out.
there.
Never worked out.
I mean, he was in Prometheus.
He is.
True. Old man.
He's at the beginning of Covenant too, but not for very long.
Oh wait, is he old in Covenant or is he old in
Both,
both of them?
both.
Okay.
Because Prometheus, he's like young for a minute, and then he's like it shows him like much older, like towards
Yeah.
the end
Yeah, I
of the
think
movie,
they
like he
they
was like
shot like a
85.
promotion for it where it's like he was like younger and he was like explaining everything like about the
Okay.
company.
Speaking of Prometheus and Alien, Romulus trailer tomorrow, I
Oh, it's
think.
coming out? Okay.
Well, I don't know. Fede Alvarez tweeted something today that just said tomorrow, and then Weta, I think Weta FX, I think they're the ones doing the digital effects for it, and
Okay.
they responded to it. So I think
That
possible
seems
trailer
like a
tomorrow.
weird, not a, I don't know. I mean, yeah, you need VFX, but I feel like you should probably do have some physical stuff if it's Alien, but whatever. I'm excited.
Have you ever
Fede
seen the
knows what
movie
he's doing.
with Guy Pearce, the Proposition, the Western?
I've not.
Yeah, good stuff.
Highly recommend.
I was talking about Lawless because I saw that around the same time I saw Memento, so like 2012, and I was just the man was just he was just a serial killer level like crazy in that movie,
Hmm.
and it's completely different from this, and I just loved it.
You guys seen Disturbia with Carrie Ann Moss?
We both
Oh yeah,
recently just rewatched it within the last month.
I love that movie.
It was very
It's
good.
good. My earliest memory with that movie is that I went to go see Spider-Man 3 in theaters and it was sold out, so I had to go see Disturbia and then I had to go see Spider-Man 3 the next day. And I was like 9.
Which one was better?
Spider-Man. Oh, which one was better?
Yeah.
I mean, they're both pretty good. They're both all right. I think here's the thing with Spider-Man 3 is Spider-Man 3 for all the faults it has is still better than any MCU Spider-Man we've ever gotten. So,
I'm inclined to agree. Besides, like a bit of the last Spider-Man that they made, like emotionally, I was trying to get like something there, and they finally hit it in that one. But even then, it's not the base of the movie. So I mean, just make more emotional stories like this one. This man is losing his mind in a bad way, and then forgetting it. So
dude, they're showing so many Christopher Nolan movies near me pretty soon. Um, I think Dark Knight's showing pretty soon in theaters. Insomnia is showing pretty soon.
Damn,
I
an
regular
saw
theater.
Insomnia re-release.
Interstellar. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that 70 mil IMAX release that's being rumored is true, but don't want to get my hopes up for
I hope
Interstellar.
it is. I mean, he's he's the biggest
if they don't
director on the
release it
planet
in
now.
anything else, if they don't release it in any other IMAX, then I literally am gonna drive up, Martin.
We
We're
I was
gonna
gonna
go to
say, dude,
Nashville.
if they release it, dude, I will be more than happy to drive for it. Okay, so like The Dark Knight, Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk, Insomnia. Let me see. There's another one.
No Memento. It's interesting they would release Insomnia and not
But
Memento.
not
Holy movies
Memento.
except Memento.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think they showed Memento last week, and I think that's why I missed it. But
Okay.
Everything else is pretty much showing. It's all at the same theater. But yeah, Vikash, if they do that 70 mil re-release, hopefully Mall of Georgia does it. Something tells me they probably won't. But yeah, we're doing the Nashville thing all over again.
Yeah. If he's Interstellar in IMAX the first time, oh my God. You're gonna see me crying. I'll tell you that. You're gonna see me crying. I'm probably gonna be crying. I actually, like, for anybody listening, keep listening to all of these because I will start crying when we get to Interstellar. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'll cry for Interstellar. I'm not gonna lie. I think the thing with anything like Interstellar, and even just anything Nolan, really is just that he understands scale and human emotions so well, and how much that can kind of affect your viewing experience. Yeah, like
And
I can't remember the last time I
I don't
watched
know how
Interstellar
people
was,
say
but
he's not like he doesn't know emotion because even this is every time like the people make fun of him for the dead wife trope, but it's like this movie is based within it, and it's like the man is lost and he's trying to figure out who murdered his wife, and if you don't feel the emotion behind that, like you must be heartless.
yeah, I don't get it.
It makes sense why they would release all those movies, though. He's the biggest director on the planet.
Oh yeah, of course.
Post Oppenheimer now. Finally has his
This is
Oscar.
reminding me of I used to do some I had a I like a psychology professor I used to help, and we used to do tests like this, but not the shock thing. He used to do a lot of stuff with babies, so it was kind of cute.
We don't get any shots with people with phones like this anymore. We need to get rid of cell phones.
True.
This is technically like a period piece with the phone booths.
Oh,
And
it very much is like anything 2000s. If you've made your film well and then have a contemporary set, then it is very much a period piece in a good way.
Movie, yeah.
That's why my argument is that more great filmmakers should make movies set today so we can watch them, like go back and watch them in 10, 20 years and be like, oh, this is awesome.
I mean, Paul Thomas Anderson didn't make like a contemporary film until now, and even then,
True.
it's
Or I mean,
really
Punch Drunk
decent.
Love.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
Yeah.
they don't make good movies. It's just contemporary set ones are just more compelling to me. Just it's an opinion that I have. I've always had.
I think there's kind of a give or take on both, but I agree with you. It's kind of hard to, and especially with like cell phones where they start talking about like, oh, I can FaceTime you, or it's such an integral like piece of the plot. It's like I don't know how well this is gonna hold up in 10 years.
True. Or be like Park Chan Wook and just murder it with Decision to Leave. Like
That's what I
it's
mean. Though. Like that's a great example of one that I think worked really well.
like I need more filmmakers to have the audacity to do it. And so it's like I don't expect it from like Spielberg, but some of these younger guys, like, come on, get your head in the game.
Would you consider Uncut Gems contemporary, considering that it was released in like 2020 and it takes
Oh,
place
I
in
mean, but it's
2012?
contemporary set. It's like set today. So yeah, of course
Yeah,
that counts. That's fantastic.
them having like iPhone 4s and like everything being around like just
Or
that. I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. Like they got everything down to like the second.
it's fantastic.
I mean, this style, like even the clothing is very, very 2000s. I mean, early 2000s because it's literally the year 2000.
His
Probably filmed in 99.
his jacket is the most 2000s thing ever too. Like that style.
And
I
the
love those
glasses.
jackets. It's funny you say that. I know somebody who has these glasses. Pat Zach has these glasses,
I do too.
and I'm just like, bro, if I wore these glasses, I'm a straight pedo. Who beat you up?
Who beat you up?
See,
Kind of sick
people.
joke is
Another
this?
thing about Nolan. Nolan is one of my favorite directors because he's funny. He always has funny stuff.
But one of my favorite scenes coming up is when he's kicking the door down and he kicks the wrong one down. He's like, "Oh, sorry." Like,
He is so funny too. Like he really is. Like people saying that like Tenet's like trying to be really serious, and it's just like, bro, there's a joke in there about him saving the world and like paying off a credit card. Like, shut up.
Bro, no, the hot sauce line. Someone
The
literally
hot
made a
sauce.
YouTube
Yeah.
account that says like the hot sauce line for today, and they just post the hot sauce line. It's 9 seconds every single day.
Tenet is so funny. Like it genuinely is.
I've got a gun.
I forget.
Another shot.
I love how earlier in the shot they put the gun right on the Bible too.
As the Lord intended.
And God said, "Have a gun."
God said, "Let the Second Amendment." I'm sorry.
Get lost.
There's such a tension between all this. Like once you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Him, Carrie Ann Moss's character.
I'm gonna try to find a version of that movie that's in in chronological order, see if it feels any different. I'm gonna watch it. I'll find it. I don't know how, but I'll find it.
I'm sure someone's uploaded it somewhere on like some site.
How long do you guys think it'll take me to find it?
Give me 10 minutes.
You'll start watching that version.
Let me see. And we'll meet at the we'll meet at the
We'll meet at
middle.
the-
So y'all are going forwards. I'm going backwards, but it's actually forwards, but it's the end of the movie, but it's the start of the movie. If that makes sense for anybody that's listening to this.
I found it. Literally didn't even take me like a minute. It's on archive.org. Who wants the link?
What's the link?
Memento
Yeah,
2000.
I'll drop.
Send,
I'll
send
drop
it
the
in
link
the chat.
I'll drop it in the episode bio.
Now we gotta do that one.
We gotta watch it immediately after this.
We need more like black and white movies too.
I think we've had a solid resurgence though.
There has been a lot of black and white movies recently.
Whether it's like Rebecca Hall's new film that she did, I thought that was really well made.
Is that already removed from Netflix?
They removed it from Netflix? Jeez.
I think so. I think Netflix essentially kind of like sold it off. And it was a Netflix owned movie.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I heard there's rumors that it was being removed.
The film we're talking about is called Passing with Rebecca's in it, and it's Ruth, I'm not gonna say her last name, fantastic actress. I don't know if y'all seen Loving.
Tessa Thompson's in it too.
Yeah,
Isn't
Tessa
she?
Thompson's in it. Yep.
It's still up, it looks like. But I remember I know what Pat's talking about. They were talking about like taking it off the service.
This is my biggest fear when I'm taking a shower. Like,
So
someone
my
in here.
brother has done this. He's dumped like buckets of water on me, like cold water on me when I'm taking showers multiple times. So I live in the same fear.
Or I have it like when I have a fear because I live in LA, like that when I'm taking a shower is when the big earthquake's gonna hit. As I'm like in the shower. Like,
Do you take like really
this is
fast
it.
showers for that reason?
No, but I'm just
Do you
mentally
ever-
prepared
Do you ever
for
like
when it's gonna happen.
like prepare for the shower? You like put all of your clothes out just in case you need to get dressed. And
Just
just
in
run out the door.
case.
No. You just wear swim trunks every time you shower, just in case.
Just in
you just run
case.
out.
That's like Big Daddy. He's like, why do I have to wear swim trunks every time? It's like, yeah, you just do.
Memento and Big Daddy, guys. We're going to actually the very 2000s talk today. We're talking about a lot of 2000 movies.
2000s coded, absolutely.
You're right. I kind of want this pen now.
Right? It looks like it's what, 0.5, 0.7?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think
I
that's
have
actually
a
him writing
very
though?
I have a very unhealthy obsession with pens, I'll tell you that. So
I love that beard just sitting next to that fucking gun. The crappy motel phone. Oh yeah, this is it.
there we go.
He's running up that phone bill.
There we go.
Back when phone calls actually cost something.
You imagine explaining that to a kid now. It's like you used to have to pay to call people.
I mean, I guess technically you still do get to pay a monthly fee, but
True.
Yeah, but it's like
But it's not like per minute
unlimited.
or
Yeah.
like, like after 9 p.m. you can make calls or
Yeah.
whatever.
you guys remember the like those commercials that they would have with like the minutes where they'd be like, "Do you guys have any more minutes I can borrow?" Someone's like, "You can borrow my
Yeah.
minutes."
That
Or if you
always
were
reminds me
dialed.
of In Time,
Oh yeah.
What about
another
in time?
Forgot about that
time-oriented
movie.
movie. Well, imagine if Nolan had made that movie.
Dude, that movie
You
has
should
such a
remake
good
it.
premise, and it feels like it has such a strange like it just kind of ends. Also, Killian
Yeah.
Murphy though.
Cillian Murphy shot by is the first
Roger
digital movie
Deakins.
that Deakins shot.
Yeah.
Amanda Seyfried's in it.
Yo, did you guys see Rango's getting a 4K? Okay, the reason I mentioned that is because Roger Deakins. Roger Deakins is in that movie. Or that probably sounds like out of pocket, just like talking about Memento, where like Roger
Do we
Deakins
really
like,
need
yo,
a
Rango.
Rango 4K? I mean, I'm all for 4Ks, but do we really need a Rango?
Rango's awesome, dude. What are you talking about?
No, it's
Give me the
great,
How to
but
Train Your Dragon
do
one
I need
first.
to? Am I gonna buy Rango 4K? Probably not,
When I got
unless it was
my
like $10.
whenever I met Roger Deakins, part of me wanted to take my Rango 4K or my Rango Blu-ray and have him sign it, but I was like, nah, he's probably gonna think this is weird.
Oh, here we go. Here's my favorite scene in the movie.
Good old American Express. Get you through the door.
I'd be like, damn, these doors are not very secure.
Boom. Shit.
Yeah, just oh shit. Oh fuck.
Bro hits him with a sorry.
Yeah, this is Nolan's humor.
You can see a lot of like what he did in following in this too, which is so funny to me.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like he just builds, but he builds properly. He's just like, I'm gonna make this better somehow and more complicated, but keep the tenets the same.
Keep the what?
The tenets. Ludwig comes out of nowhere. It's like, hey guys.
I love
I'm
I
like
love that little thing they do
10.
in Tenet too.
You're
I
right.
always
This does
listen to Fast Cars.
have like a following feel. Like he just like expanded the idea of following more.
Do you guys remember those like Blu-ray boxes that they used to have of like it would just say Nolan on the cover and it had like all of his movies on there?
Yeah.
I like I wish that they would do that again, but for like all of his movies on 4K, like that'd be insane. Which like I know you can buy his movies on 4K now, but I want to buy all of them.
That's
I
probably the only
wish
way
they
to
would
get
they'd make
this
expandable
Blu-ray
box
now.
sets where it's like you can add like you already know your favorite director is gonna make more movies. So
Yeah. They have, I mean, I think the only one that they don't have on 4K right now of his is this, and it seems like it's coming to 4K and then following, but I wouldn't expect that to get a 4K like ever.
I just hope
Insomnia.
I mean as long as no one's involved, I think they'll do it correctly. Because I feel like it's a very specific thing to like,
Honestly, with him now
4K
winning
a
that
movie.
Oscar, with him winning the Oscar, I wouldn't be surprised if Criterion does release a 4K of it.
They did
Yeah.
a 4K release for Darren Aronofsky's Pie that I saw in theaters last year, and actually the A24 just put out the 4K for it as well.
That's my favorite. What the fuck? And then he just about to shoot it, he just drives away. Just- Thank you.
Bro.
Thank you. Like he said, it was such like
Yeah. Okay, so what am I doing?
That's the best part. That's the line I always remember. What am I doing here?
That's me every day. What am I doing?
Every time I wake up.
I really like the score a lot. Can't find it anywhere either.
Probably find
David
on YouTube.
Julian.
Yeah, I guess you can always find stuff on YouTube. It's always like really crappy quality though.
Yeah.
I mean, as
You know,
long as
funny
it's like
enough,
320, 256.
that Black Rebel Motorcycle Club vinyl that you have, Pat, I found the like that album with the extended version of Howl because I was such a huge fan of Southland Tales on YouTube, but I can't find this one anywhere else. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that vinyl.
it's a good vinyl. I remember as soon as you posted, I was like, I gotta tell him I love this album.
He's only worked with 2 DPs, no? 'Cause he shot following himself.
Technically, yeah. Jess Pfister and Hoyta. Vastly different, but the connection's there. I think Hoyta helped him upgrade, and then the other one was just like, I
Mhm.
mean, him and Wally were just working together really well.
I can tell like Wally Pfister by his like lighting.
True.
There's a lot of
Because when
shadows.
you get to Interstellar, I can see the difference, like you were saying.
Drastic difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not discounting Wally Pfister. I'm literally sitting here thinking about Moneyball. That shot at the opening of Moneyball where Brad Pitt's just sitting there listening to the game, like them
Mhm.
losing.
I love that
And
shot, dude.
you know the shot I'm talking about. It's just one of the
Yeah,
best
when
shots of all
he's sitting in
time.
like the
Yeah.
stadium, there's just like 100 seats, and there's just like his shadow almost.
Yep. We can do a little short stint on Bennett Miller. It won't take long. Maybe he'll make a movie by the time we do it. Maybe like another 10 years.
Yeah, it'll be a quick 3-week podcast.
Capote, Capote, Moneyball, and then Foxcatcher.
Foxcatcher. That's it.
Foxcatcher shot by the great Greg Frazier. Now he's the next one. He's just been murdering it.
I own Capote, but I haven't seen it yet.
You know what Capote sounds like? Philip Seymour Hoffman. He does it right, but it's like Larry. It's like a very like high pitched voice.
Oh yeah. I love Philip Seymour Hoffman, dude. It's one of those things where like any movie that he's in, I like. I bought it just because he was on the cover. I was like, I don't even know who did this. I don't care. I don't know who wrote it. I will buy it just for him.
Martin, he bought Along Came Polly. He's like Martin, like he's in it.
That's
I
my
gotta buy
favorite.
it.
That's my favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman. That and Twister.
Fantastic. Oh yeah,
Have
Twister.
you guys seen Happiness? The Todd Solondz movie.
No.
I don't think I have actually.
That shit's dark. I mean, it's good. It's really good, but it's a tough sell to talk to anybody about it because it's really weird. Twister, though, I was telling Pat one day, I was like, I'm from Oklahoma, so it's like a law. If you live in Oklahoma, you have to watch Twister.
Oh, that's like where I am. You have to watch Forrest Gump because like Forrest Gump was literally
Yeah.
shot here.
When we went to go visit Savannah, I like one of my first things that I did. I was like, I'm gonna go find the bench. I gotta go find the bench she sat at.
But the bench ain't there. At Chesapeake
Anymore.
Square, it ain't there. They took it out because they want people to cause havoc.
I learned that very quickly after I got there.
Yeah. I think someone actually put a pin down in the wrong place just to mess with people. Just on Google Maps because it's like they're not
I
gonna know.
I
They all
think
look the same.
I think someone that I was with pointed out there like it's this one. I was like, no, it's not. I was like, I know what it looks like. It's not that one. I'm like, I know what the background looks like. I've seen it enough times.
I
I
got a
will say
photo of it
though,
sitting right behind me.
there's a nice theater in Savannah, that area. I didn't go into it, but there's like a nice little theater there.
Yeah, it's probably the Lucas or the Trustees, one or the other.
I think it was a Lucas because they were showing like The Dark Knight that summer
Yep,
because they had just shown
yep,
up. They were about to show Oppenheimer. I'm pretty sure.
yep.
Do you live in like the inner part of Savannah or where?
I live from where you're talking about. I live 30 minutes away, but I work within 15 minutes of where you're talking, or like 5 or 10 minutes of where you're talking about. Essentially, it's
My
not far.
girlfriend has a friend that lives in Savannah, like actually in Savannah. So I think she's wanting to take a trip down in the summer. If you want to meet up for the first time, we could
Oh,
do a little movie hunting, Blu-ray hunting, whatever we do.
yeah, we'll have some fun.
There was a nice little store there that had like a lot of movies. I remember.
Yeah, that area is good for that because they have a lot of art students down there.
SCAD.
Yep.
You guys don't want to come to Burbank and see the filming locations of Memento?
I've been telling you, Pat. We're gonna visit sometime.
It's not an if, it's just a when. That's all
It's
it is
just a
for
win. We
me.
gotta have it line up perfectly.
You can see every LA movie ever.
Pat's gonna be our tour guide. He's gonna be like, "Hey guys, this is the point. This is where they did this thing. This is the one shot they have in Memento from. Let's
This is the
drive another
discount
hour to
in.
the next location."
This is the discount in Memento.
Have
The
y'all
discount is still
seen
there.
Florida Project?
Yeah, they
Mhm.
painted the hotel.
Yeah, I used to drive by that hotel all the time, and then I saw the movie, and then it just hit so much harder. And every time I saw it afterwards, I was just like,
They
that
painted the
place.
hotel, I'm pretty sure, recently, and they like posted pictures of it, and everyone was saying that like everybody was like
It's
disappointed because it was such like a huge tourist spot for people who loved the movie.
yeah, and it's like in the Disney area.
hmm
It reminds me of this hotel. That's why I was thinking about it.
I mean, there's like a whole like scene in the movie too where like a couple shows up and they think like what she's like arguing with the husband. She's like, "You said you were staying at the Magic Kingdom," and he's like, "I thought this was the Magic Kingdom."
Sean Baker, man, just
I love Sean Baker. The guy is such a huge film nerd. I love it. Like I watch these videos. You guys know that page on the YouTube that's like a French page, and they just have videos of directors like in their video store talking about movies.
oh yeah, yeah. The
There's
Killian
there,
and Nolan did one recently, or like
yes,
last
yes,
year.
yes, yes, yes. There's one with Sean Baker where he's talking about like how he brought his Blu-ray player, his region-free Blu-ray player, with him to Paris in case he saw a movie that he wanted to get.
He's a smart man. I would do the same thing.
Also, Carrie Coon on what was it
Oh
Jimmy
yeah,
Kimmel or
yeah,
Jimmy
yeah, yeah.
Fallon?
If you don't follow her on Twitter, go ahead because
I do.
she's always like posting whatever she's watching. So
Who would have
her
known
and
that she was married
Tracy
to Tracy
Letts,
Letts, dude?
yeah,
Have you
Little
guys read any
Women.
of his plays? Like on
He's
If listeners
great.
don't know, Tracy Letts
Yeah,
is the dad in Lady Bird, if you don't know.
yeah.
and he's in Ford versus Ferrari as Ford, the one that
Mhm.
shits his pants when Carol Shelby takes him around the block.
I love it. I love it in Little Lady Bird whenever she tells her like, Alanis Morissette wrote the song in like 14 minutes, and he's like, I believe it. I quote that line like all the time. My girlfriend will tell me something like, I'll believe it.
And he's in Little Women. He should have been in Barbie, honestly.
He's so good. I love him.
He would have been a better Bard man than Will Ferrell. Just saying. I love Will Ferrell though.
Who
She
thinks the
does
He even
like
TV's
has a
on, bro?
he even has like a little clock. This man loves time.
What
If you get it, Chris, God, you need like a watch or something, man.
do you mean? You haven't seen Inception? The inserts of the clock slowing down. Oh, it's so good.
Whenever there's the people who say that Inception's like confusing, because it's like, if you think that's confusing, bro, watch Tenet
Or watch Memento.
or watch Memento. Yeah,
But I mean, I feel like I think there's clarity within this. But then again, I'm an asshole because every time like so Inception came out when I was in high school and everyone would be like, "Oh, that movie's so confusing." I'm like, "Did y'all watch the movie? Like it took me one watch that movie made sense." I'm like, "What are y'all
Mhm.
talking about?"
he has such
I think,
precise
yeah.
writing. Like it's so easy to follow everything, and it's like even the
It's
same thing with Tenet.
fantastic.
I think we mentioned last time. Like even if you don't understand how the mechanics of the film work, you can still understand what's happening at all times.
100%. 100%.
He holds your hand every time, all the way through. Like there's nothing confusing about what you're watching.
Or he's holding your hands, but it never feels like, "Oh, like he thinks you're stupid." Put it that way. Like
Yeah,
it's a
it's almost
respectful
like
holding of hand.
yeah,
Guy
it's
Guy
almost
Pearce has
like
a really small ear. So I'm sorry. His ear just looks so small.
I bet
Now I
you
have
thought
to
I
see
have
his
small
ear when it cuts
ears.
back.
He does have small
He does
ears.
have small ears.
What he needs to do is the same thing I do and just grow out my hair so no one sees him.
I have massive ears, and when I was younger, I looked like I was called Dumbo in middle school. So I mean,
My God.
Do you guys think it'd make a difference if this film was entirely in black and white?
yeah. We should
Hmm.
mention, since you did mention that this is the basis that he used for Oppenheimer, pretty much. And it's like, oh, I have to really divide these two storylines, plot A, plot B. It's like, oh, how do I do this? Black and white.
Black and white.
Except now he's got $100 million. He's shooting 65 and the 70 mil IMAX, and it just blows your mind every time you see it.
It's interesting to see though that I mean, with Nolan, it was as easy as let's shoot this in color, let's shoot this in black and white. Whereas some movies and TV shows, Little Women, for example, that we just mentioned, you have like two different sets of color grading where one of them was like a warmer color, one was like
Yeah.
a cooler color to kind of tell the difference in time.
Some people found that hard to tell the difference. And then when I watched it, I was like, really? It's pretty easy.
No,
I don't.
it's blaring.
Like,
It's
are we
blaring.
following the same movie?
I was like,
Or
what?
if y'all seen It Comes at Night,
Oh
there's different
yes, the
aspect
aspect
ratios
ratios.
within
Yes.
that. If you've
Mhm.
seen Legion FX, they are like they do it in that. Westworld started doing it after that too. It became a thing recently.
Pat, have you seen Legion on FX?
Possibly. I possibly have.
One of the best shows
Possibility.
they've ever done. One of the best like comic book shows. It's that and like Daredevil for me is just
Um,
balls to the wall crazy stuff in Legion.
the Daniels and Everything Everywhere for some key sequences, aspect ratios was a big thing too.
Oh,
Did you guys see the
interesting.
new Mean Girls?
I haven't finished it, put it that way.
But you've seen enough of it to kind of know where I'm getting at. The aspect
Oh
ratios and
yeah.
like the musical numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was one that I was like watching and I was like, is this needed? Just kind of feels obnoxious at this point.
I had a problem with the Steadicam. I mean, the Steadicam work is good, but I think the framing within that movie just felt very off.
I found myself wanting to slam my head into a wall every scene. I was insane. I think the only character in that film that I worked with or that made it feel worth watching was Renee Rapp.
Yeah, I feel like there was a point in like the late 2010s when people would just change aspect ratio just for like fun, like a style. And I honestly didn't care for it.
Do you have any
I mean, I
examples?
understand if you're trying to show something different, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Like Legion and Westworld both did it where it's like, oh, this is real, and then this is like Dream World or whatever.
I forget. I think it was speaking of Noah Hawley, it was the Lucy in the Sky movie he made where he did the
Oh,
same aspect ratio changes, but it wasn't like it didn't feel like warranted. Like it just was like a style. It's like I
I
get
totally
it. We're
forgot about
changing
that.
aspect. It's
I
like,
know what you're talking about. I totally forgot about that. Joe is so good, man. He's so good. Like, why did Nolan never cast him in a movie again? Like, this is a guy that you'd want in every one of your movies. At least in my opinion.
A
I'd
whole lot
cast
at
him right
all.
away.
Really. I'm trying to think of other stuff he's been in recently since like the early 2000s, and I can't really think of much.
Bad Boys 3.
Bad Boys 3. Bad Boys 3.
I was a big fan of Bad Boys 3. That's like something I will do on the pod at some point for myself. Like, I really enjoy that film.
You guys see that Bound is getting a 4K? I mean, he's in that. That's why I
I
remember
did.
that. Yeah, he's good in that. I don't see any. Oh, he was in Cats and Dogs: The Revenge of Kitty Galore. You guys
I
remember
mean,
that film?
I mean,
2010, he was in Percy Jackson: The Olympians.
Oh, The Lightning Thief.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, The Sopranos was 2004. I'd say that was his last like bigger role.
damn. He had his run in the early 2000s, though.
Indeed.
Late 90s. Because Bound was
Get
what,
all it's hot.
98? Was Bound 98, 99?
Something like that.
98, 99, maybe 96 even. Because it was before The Matrix. And the Wachowskis did it, so 99 was Matrix. I think it was 96.
Matrix, yeah. Yeah, so it had to be before.
Can you imagine pulling out like a piece of paper, discount, and I need my own place? It's a hotel.
Legal responsibility, large financial.
What?
Have y'all seen The Conversation? Francis Ford Coppola.
Classic.
Yeah.
That these sorts of movies like this and that, they prey on my paranoia, I'll tell you that.
Francis Ford Coppola has been one of those directors that over the last like 10, 15 years has just aged with all of his movies in such a graceful way. Where I think it was interesting. So I was watching an interview with him talking about The Godfather and people him saying that like when it was released, it was not received well.
Bro, she's solely gaslighting the crap out of this man.
I like what he does. I think it's from what I remember, like when she comes in again and says the same thing, he switches the camera to be on the opposite side of like that. Like he switches from the 180-degree roll, he goes to the other side for the same exact dialogue and the same exact scene, essentially. And then when you rewatch it, you're like, oh, like you're just
Yeah.
freaking messing with this guy. Like that's why he just because it's supposed to be like him in his mind seeing things different, but he's like,
I just expected her to be. I'm telling you, genuinely, when I watched this movie, I'm like, oh, it's Trinity. Like she's a good guy. Like
Neo just shows up at the end, like a post.
yeah, we
Lawrence
need
Fishburne.
Keanu in this. Yeah.
Neo.
The end of the movie is actually just like a scene from this, and it's just like in that like ugly green Matrix coated like color grading. Neo shows up. Lenny, we've been looking for you.
Lenny has a white rabbit tattoo.
Like a white rabbit tattoo. Oh, the white rabbit. He looks up, there's like a white rabbit hotel. That's the end of the scene.
Yeah.
The next one's called like Memento 2 Origins.
This man and his pens. This man always needs a pen. It's the cheapest prop you can have. It's fantastic.
You guys know those like memes that people make of like the MCU, like how they have like the lineup of like all their movies. It's just that, but with Memento and Nolan films.
All be fine.
He also does a good job of shooting him like completely separate from everybody a lot. Just unplug it, dude.
That's actually interesting. Who would be calling him at a hotel? Like, how do you even get to the phone in the room?
Yeah, I think it's right here. I think he shoots on the other side. No, that's when she comes back in later. Not here.
I have a pen in my bag. I have a pen in my bag.
This movie is about pens.
Pens and bad memory. Damn, Carrie Ann Moss did not get a career she deserved. Like, I don't know your thoughts on Matrix Resolutions. I think Resurrections. I really love that movie, but I think she's
I feel like there's a lot
extremely
of great
talented.
resolutions in there.
Mm-hmm. She's great.
No, I liked Resurrections, honestly. I know a lot of people kind of hated it.
Like, if I wanted the action, I'd watch Matrix 1 through 3, and they delivered something else with that movie. I enjoyed it.
I can't remember who told me this, but they said that like it was like the dumbest take I'd ever heard. But they said that Matrix Resurrections felt like a parody of the first three, and I was like, did we watch the same film?
Yeah.
There's a lot going
It
on
was
there
a-
if you really pay attention.
You're telling me this was the epic movie of the This is a Spaceball. Spaceball is actually great though.
I can't watch Spaceballs. Something about what's his name, Jabba Pizza the Hut,
Pizza. He ate himself to death.
Schwartz.
dude. Like seeing his like big pizza self like melt
Whoa.
as the film was happening, it like bothered me.
Damn. Yeah, she's great. Especially in this scene.
Jeez. She's so good at this movie. What do you think? Supporting actress nomination if this movie was properly respected? Whoa, domestic violence?
Damn.
Nolan, why are you hitting your wife like that?
He won't remember it.
Did I do that?
Yeah, Urkel's at the door.
Guy Pearce just puts on the glasses.
He like the Men in Black.
Yeah, she's really great in that scene. She's like, I'll just be out here for like 10 minutes. You won't remember anything that just happened, and I'll come back in.
This is the most horrifying part of this movie. This scene. It's just this is how you do it.
Mm.
If I ever wanted to piss him off, I'd just hide all the pens and paper.
I just love how she's just like outside waiting. She
Martin, you
comes.
were right that if they tried to make this movie today, that it would be harder to make, right? Because you could just record every single second of your life, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, technically speaking, like you could just pull out the voice memo notes on your phone, all times.
True. Yep.
There are some times when I'm writing like a script or something where I know that I'm having like a conversation with someone similar to what I'm writing or like a very specific writing style with them. And I'll
Yeah.
like, just record my conversation with them and then I'll go back and listen to it and write something similar to what I just talked to them about.
That's smart. I use the voice notes to write out ideas. So it's like you're just, kind of vomiting it out. So you're not looking back at it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're
I'll do
riding it,
that.
you might have trepidation about it.
I'll do that when I'm on walks. Like, there's a trail near my apartment that I'll just talk into my phone into while I'm walking to like kind of like get a script going. And then people will look at me like I'm crazy, and I'm just like, all right, you know what? Like, you have no idea what I'm doing here. I am dealing with something bigger than you could ever imagine.
So Pat might have to speak to this. Is her outfit like 90s vibed? I'm feeling young today, Pat. Can you because it feels like something that, women are wearing nowadays. Like
I mean,
I feel like it's been resurrected.
yeah, I mean, I guess they probably would shoot this in '99. So, I mean, yeah, it's late '90s. '90s is vintage now, which is weird to say, but '90s are '90s are back.
You feeling old? You 32-year-old
Yeah,
scrub.
right. I am.
I turned 28 this year, so
If I were a pro sports player, I'd be retiring very soon. 32.
okay, LeBron. How old are you? You got it in you, Pat. Go play for the Flyers. I believe in you.
I'll be a pro golfer. Play till I'm like 50.
I saw you on them skates this weekend. Come on, let's go.
He was playing hockey.
Dude, I'd be gassed after like 30 seconds.
Bro, come on. Why are you shaking with the gun?
Damn.
Blasted him, bro.
Gotta make sure he's dead, dude.
Nolan watched The Fugitive and he was like, how do I make this for a lower budget? I'm sorry. I've been sitting on that the entire movie. Every time I think about this movie, I think about that. Like, I didn't kill my wife.
I don't care.
You switched the samples. I mean, Guy Pearce has to like control this whole movie
Oh, yeah.
because you're essentially shooting these same scenes over and over again. He's just gonna act different in them each time.
You think that like Nolan told him something before he would shoot the scenes that would kind of like have him in control, whereas the other actors had to like kind of guess what they were doing?
He probably had them also like watch like split personality people.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, the actor is like she even kind of switches a lot too.
Like Carrie, I mean, at least for this, I mean, she's manipulating him, and you can very much feel I guess it's like the emotional temperature every time she's walked through this door as like it's being different, whether she's, you know, being a victim or being controlling or being whatever she was in that last intense scene,
Yeah.
She was venting. Vikash is what was happening.
She was not venting. She what she said. Oh, you gonna tell me my wife got venereal diseases? She ain't got that VD. Come on.
Yeah, but think about it. He wasn't gonna remember it, so she knew she
Yeah.
was venting.
Yeah, that's true. It's disgusting that you would even say that. Even like, what would you do if you were in this situation? Like, would
You
you?
were
I feel like
thinking
that's. I wouldn't do it.
I'm not saying
the.
I would do it. I'm just saying, like, in terms of what she was doing, she was definitely venting because she knew he wasn't gonna remember it.
Yeah, Nolan went through all of it. That's what it is. Nolan was probably in a psych ward with somebody.
He's been chosen for the frat.
You're a wizard, Harry. Oh, okay, never mind. Wrong frat. Wrong frat.
Oh, they do that in frats. Like they'll slide like social network. I
Who
made
was
the
that
second cut.
picture? The social network was good, yeah. It's probably a diversity thing.
That's probably like a BTS photo. Getting like
That mug. Looks good. I drink out of that.
that's me at
That
the
looks
bar.
like
Just crack
like
it up.
something you get at like the medieval times or something.
I
Yeah.
love medieval times. There's one pretty close to me.
Oh
Actually,
yeah,
at the
I've
mall at the
been.
at
Yeah,
the south at the was it South Lake?
yeah. That's the last time I was actually is I haven't spent time in Atlanta since 2018. I was there.
This is actually just like that scene in Shrek. It's like I must have switched the T's.
I know you're a couple. What do you want? Is something wrong?
Why haven't they made an animated movie reference to Memento? We got Breaking Bad references. Come on.
Because of my condition. You don't believe someone with this condition? Nobody believes Sammy. I didn't even fucking believe.
I mean, I feel like there's probably still a lot of people that have not seen this movie.
I know
Which
even
is
some of the
crazy.
biggest Nolan fans that haven't watched this movie, and I'm like, if you're really a Nolan fan, like, what's going on there? Where's that? What's this blind spot we got here?
For me, I was a Nolan fan. Like I knew his name probably starting in like 2008, 2009, and I watched it in 2012, 2011, something like that.
I think I watched
But
this
that
like
was like, an
2013.
accessible thing. Like I didn't know, like I'd have to look up his filmography and all that stuff. I didn't know what I was doing back then, honestly.
What I did to kind of like watch a lot of directors' filmographies is I would literally go on IMDb and I would literally like look at every single film they made and I would find them and I'd order them all on Amazon and I'd watch them in like a week.
Yeah, no, I started doing that, or like I'd borrow movies from friends and stuff like that. That's how it went in high school. It was a different vibe. I loved it, honestly.
Used media is fun
Monday
as
morning
well.
was always great. I'll tell you that.
I used to always do what we're doing with this podcast now. I would start their first movie and watch all the way up to their most current
Oh,
or their like last movie, just to see their
nah.
progression, see the
I would
progression of how.
I did that
I'd
too.
be
I did
all
that
over the
with
place. It'd be
I did that
vibes
with
only.
Tarantino. I remember watching like all of his early stuff leading up to like I remember seeing Django and I was like, oh, this is insanely cool. I gotta watch the rest of his movies, and I would do that.
I remember I'd watched Glorious Bastards. At least I rewatched it before I saw Django.
And it's always funny when you see the first movie that they actually get a budget for. You're like, all right,
Yeah.
this is when he
Look
hit
like
it.
they're
This is when he hit it.
you can
It's
see
like
like
it,
their
I guess when
similar
it'd be like
style.
Batman Begins. It's like, all right, he's got some money now. He's established himself.
The boy gets to play at the tables now. What the fuck?
I think spitting in any movie or show or anything, that's like the most disgusting thing you can do.
Especially when they get like the snot in there. Oh,
You know, like Titanic, like the callback.
yeah, that Titanic.
He like spits in his face.
I mean, honestly, I'd drink that if she did.
Dude, she could do that in my mouth and I drink it. Like I would swallow. I don't care.
Respectfully.
Look at her, bro.
Respectfully.
That's like the sixth time I've said respectfully today. Respectfully.
That is Carrie Ann Moss, like 100%. Yeah.
Our queen.
I love the little laughy ads.
I love that photo because it reminds me of Ryan Gosling and from The Place Beyond the Pines.
Oh yeah,
They could
he does
totally be
kind of
brothers.
have the same look as this, just more tattoos.
Yep. No Eva Mendes.
Dude, if you swapped out that like those two characters in this movie and then them for Place and Beyond the Pines, it would still work. You ever think about that?
True.
I could see Gosling actually playing this role too.
It'd be really good.
Oh yeah, he'd murder it. Yeah, he'd do a great job in Place Beyond the Pines too. I mean, both of them would.
Does anyone else feel like that movie, whenever Bradley Cooper shows up, it's just like a completely different vibe?
Oh yeah. When the thing happens at the window,
Yeah. After
mean-
that scene, everything is completely different.
Yep. I always thought back then I thought, oh, Dane DeHaan, he's about to be one of the biggest actors. And then
He had his
cut
moment for a
to
bit.
is
Yeah.
such is so
He's an
strange
Oppenheimer.
because yeah, he plays
Oh,
a
yeah, he
teenager in
is.
one movie and then he'll play like
Better
a
than
full-grown
Valerian.
adult. Valerian's weird because I like Valerian, but then it's like I don't like it at the same time.
I fell asleep during
Completely forgot about
Valerian
that
in the
movie.
theater. That
You guys remember the trailer for that movie with Gangster's Paradise over it? Top tier trailer reveals, and then the movie was just like, what's going on?
the most unbelievable chemistry I've ever seen in a movie.
I will say, as far as like visuals go, the 4K doesn't look bad for that movie, but the movie itself is just
Yeah.
what's going on? Me at the bar. It's time for my shot.
It's
Every
time for
time.
my shot.
She's like, this motherfucker.
Oh no.
Look at their eyes. Like both of
Her eyes
their
kind of have
eyes.
color. His kind of has like color too.
Yeah.
Oh no. Nice going, dude. I could see why they offered Brad Pitt this movie though.
Look identical.
I feel like he'd overpower it though with this performance.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think there's a
the idea.
subtlety that that guy gives to it. I don't think he has it.
Little cut, the little edit there when she walked past and guy was sitting there.
Yeah. Ooh.
Emma's tattoo.
I'm gonna get all these tatted on me.
I like how Nolan and me and Pat were like very like, no tattoos, no tattoos.
I want one. I'm just lazy to go get one.
Oh nah. I couldn't. I'm paranoid. I couldn't do it. I ain't got the pain tolerance for it.
You guys are saying that. I'm like planning my new tattoo. My new tattoo. Get a giant worm on my arm.
Man's about to get a Paul's kid on you. I forgot his name.
What
Full
is it?
form. Oh, you're starting Children of the Dune, right?
Oh, Children of Dune. I already started it. I'm only like 10 pages in. I just started it today. But yeah, I mean, I want to get like just a tattoo about the first Dune book. So I'm thinking of either like a Chris knife, like right there on my arm, or like a giant like Dune with like Paul at the top of it.
I'm gonna get a lightsaber in Dune. I mean, that's the same stuff, right? No. It's the phasers. It's the phasers in Star Wars, right?
No,
Whatever.
like the blasters.
Baron Darth Vader.
Baron Vader.
What's funny is that like people are like saying like Dune is basically Star Wars. I mean, yeah, it definitely influenced it. But then I read Dune Messiah and I was like, oh, this really is just Star Wars. Like this is beat for beat, almost the exact same story.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, I love them both. I'll put it that way. Someone said it was like the
I can
thinking
definitely-
man's Star Wars, and I'm just like, y'all need to chill. Like Star Wars is great. I mean,
I enjoy them both. I enjoy them both. I can acknowledge that one definitely influenced the other, but it's like I don't want to pit them against each other.
but that's what everybody wants to do. It's like, why can't we just love them both? Like,
The internet, people want a competition.
did y'all know that George Lucas took from The Hidden Fortress, Akira Kurosawa? It's like, of
What?
course you're gonna take
You're-
from the goats. You
And
gotta learn.
you're telling me a director took from another director? Never heard of that before.
Artists steal from other artists to make their own work? Like, that's disgusting. Like, you're influenced by other human beings and their artistic qualities? I could never. When I make my art, it's just gonna be a blank sheet. It's just gonna be film running through the canister, and you see nothing besides just little rays of light. I'm gonna post it on YouTube. I'm gonna get 3,000 views. People are gonna be like, "It's the best thing ever." Birdies.
I'd go to Birdies.
So Pat, where's Birdies? I just
Probably no longer there. It's like Glendale.
no, it's okay. Of course, it's okay.
I can't unsee his ears now.
My bad. I don't know. I observe. I'm an observer, like from Fringe. This getup right here looks real. He's going hunting.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone told me this was like set in the Midwest and showed me that show, I'd be like, I believe it.
Carte Blanche. There's a Kate Blanchett right
I was
there.
gonna say Kate Blanchett.
I actually tweeted that at Lord or Miller, one of them. Because I legitimately still say Kate Blanchett.
The working man's Kate Blanchett.
Who is that? Daisy Edgar Jones at this point?
Oh, I love Daisy Edgar Jones. She was in Oklahoma shooting Twister.
I love her.
Literally one town over from where I grew up.
Oh, okay. Can't wait to see that.
We got twins. We got twins.
Brandon Perea, I didn't even recognize him. Dude from Nope. This man playing a cop. Look, see, this is what I'm saying. He's being typecast in these roles.
We're coming up on the end.
I really love this location that they chose. This one.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he could have shot this like in the Midwest, honestly, anywhere.
But you know what this reminds me of? What movie it reminds me of? It reminds me of Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heat 2 is working. He's working on Heat 2. I think he said he's shooting this summer.
Hell yeah. Who's it?
I just
Austin
got-
Butler? Probably Adam Driver. Let's go.
I just got a Ferrari on Blu-ray.
I did as well. I haven't watched it yet,
Look
though.
at that. Vikash, you need to go get Ferrari so we can be
You
the.
fucking nerds. I love y'all. I still have to see Ferrari. It's practically blasphemous, and I love Michael Mann.
Can't wait to watch the Ford movie.
Wait, Ford versus Ferrari?
No. It's gonna be like a prequel. So like you know how
Oh.
Ford v Ferrari came out. If you watch till the end of Ford v Ferrari, there's a scene at the very end where Adam Driver shows up in his little Italian suit and he's like, "Hello, I'm Enzo.
He's like,
Enzo Ferrari." And then it
I'm
just
trying-
says Ferrari will return.
The Ford versus Ferrari cinematic universe.
Yeah, FCU.
I mean, Michael Mann, James Mangold, I'm there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ford is set like what 10 years after Ferrari.
Yeah.
The FCU.
Get him.
Strip. Dude, it was like a tire iron.
Yeah.
That would hurt, man.
This Roddy Piper looking fool. It's a Roddy Piper. Who am I? No, I'm thinking of what is his name? Hulk Hogan. There we go. With that stash.
Take the money and walk away. I don't want you to. What?
Have you guys seen that Gaspar Noé film Irreversible?
Fucking
Yeah.
That's kind of like a similar concept to this, but everything is like backwards. I have a version of that movie that is actually where the entire film is like shown like in chronological order.
I watched that movie and I had to skip through that scene. I didn't know why I watched that movie. I'll tell you the truth. I watched
Gaspar Noé
Climax.
is
I haven't
better.
seen anything else. Like that man is not for me. I'll tell you that. Climax is really good though.
Well, I just brought it up because the whole like watching this in chronological order. But this
Oh
is
yeah,
the
yeah,
version of
no.
the movie. This is like a whole separate disc.
I mean, obviously it's like Nolan's influence with this movie. I think this is what really changed the culture in many ways. And it's like his peers
Think of its
definitely
time.
recognize him. It's like Soderbergh, Guillermo del Toro. I know at least those two were very much like, hyping this movie up.
Switch to color there. Great way to do it too. Develops the Polaroid to switch to color.
It makes me think
Yep.
of that video that Vikash sent in the group chat where he's like putting the X's on those points, and then he's like, they meet and it turns to color.
If anyone hasn't seen like that iconic video, it's on YouTube. I remember seeing it like a decade ago and just like having my mind blown. I'm like, y'all got this man to really break this down, and then I'm like, okay. And then
I
you
feel like
see
that
the one for like
video-
Inception.
That video
It's like
surfaces
this.
on Twitter like once a month. And
Oh
it's
yeah.
got like 1,000 retweets.
I probably just don't pay attention.
I feel like I've seen it so many times at this point. It's like I don't even know if I need to interact with that anymore.
Oh, I like yesterday is the first time I watched it since high school.
I don't know if you're as chronically online as me and Pat are, Vikash.
I
need to
am, but
get
I don't know. I
offline.
just watch a lot of like I do have like certain people like writing screenplays who like you share a lot of like background like behind the scenes content. I do love
I guess
watching
what I
it.
just mean is like Twitter specifically, because Twitter is like a cesspool, dude. Every day is something
Oh,
different.
I've
Like
the
the Aaron
last
Taylor Johnson stuff this morning, dude. I saw it and I was like, didn't we see this like a few months ago? And immediately I was like, this is fake. This has got to be fake. And then like an hour later, it was like, oh, this news is refuted. It's just like, okay, cool. So knew it was fake.
I'm sorry, I just zoned in on the movie. Like this is that this is that scene.
Nah, forget it. I was just talking about Aaron Taylor Johnson's Bond and how they were announcing it this morning, and then I was like, it's fake.
I'm the guy to help you find him. No. Lady, you got the wrong idea. He knew. Of course he did. He raped your wife, fucked up your brain. Bullshit. It's not the guy. Name is James F. Grant. John G. Check it out.
John G. He always says that.
John
John G.
I love his voice when he talks.
Oh,
I'm
he's
the
in
guy to help you find
what do you
him.
So
call him?
Italian.
He's in The Fugitive and U.S. Marshals. He's creating those movies too.
Mm.
I just realized he played in Cats and Dogs. He plays the pigeon.
This feels like he's
don't know
making
why I
fun of
know
his
that.
own movie.
Tearing her up inside.
I'm not trying to look into this too hard, but she really looked like Emma Thomas. I'm just saying, okay?
She does.
Learning truth. Sammy let his life too. Sammy ended up in an institution. Posing for what he was. Fraud. I was wrong. That's the whole point. Sammy's wife came to me. Sammy didn't have a wife.
What?
Because your wife had diabetes.
Damn. These little cutaways remind me of Inception
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he's remembering his wife.
Cotillard is great in that, but The Dark Knight
Mhm.
Rises.
Yeah, we'll talk about that
Guys.
death scene when we get to that movie.
We'll get into it for sure. We keep it even about Nolan. I think he agrees that it was not handled
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah.
Why? You never know. Won't remember. I don't know. Well, I thought so too. In fact, I was sure of it.
Where would you place this in your Nolan ranking?
Pretty high.
This one?
For me, it's pretty high. I want to say that this used to be my favorite of his, if I'm being honest. Or I'd say that it was his best, to be honest.
Zach would agree with you. Me, y'all, it's like number 4 or 5. But that being said, he has so many fantastic movies. It's
Mhm.
just a personal taste thing where it's like my soul belongs to movies like Interstellar and the Dark Knight, Batman Begins. Like I've watched those movies 10 plus times. And it's not like this is a bad movie or something. It's an amazing movie. But it's just me.
I don't know if this is his best, but I'd say it's my favorite of his, for sure.
I think I have it at like probably like 4 or 5 or maybe even like 6.
But even then, this is better than
Which probably sounds
most
bad. Like
people's
this is why it's like
filmographies.
shit 6.
No, but it's like legitimately like you're lucky to ever make even a movie like this. And he's
Yeah.
got 5, 6, 7 movies like this. It's like, what?
The fact that this was his second movie, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like how?
And
That's
think
wild.
about it. He's this good and he continues to be this good. And he finally won the Oscar. He's sitting there staring at this thing like is this actually real? It's like, bro, you've deserved it for 25 years, 24
Yeah.
years. Like
This got 2 Oscar noms.
it did?
Best writing and best editing, I think.
Editing, probably. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Editing and screenplay.
The strongest suits for Nolan.
Yeah.
My name's John Edward Down. Cheer up. There's plenty of John.
Ooh, is
I'm gonna go throw your keys in a bush soon.
He doesn't know about the gun.
It's beer o'clock.
It's gonna be your clock.
Be on like a slow Tuesday. It's at work.
And then the movie finally clicks here for me.
Don't believe his lies.
Sounds like a good line from a song.
You have to burn these.
Oh shit. Love her all just silently
I
listening.
think I know, no, but I think it's like I think the magic of this is that he gives you this scene and it's like he slowly leads you into it. It's like you start to connect the pieces, and it's like if you do it too fast, it might be it might feel a little rushed. But this is like the pacing of it is just fantastic.
We're all just invested, dude. It's like the final act right here. Just everything is just connecting. It makes sense. This is that meme of like that guy leaning forward of like, holy shit.
Yeah. when you're locked in now.
And then I'm also the meme of Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like and he
Yeah.
like points at the screen. That's me. Joe Pantaleino. Remember these car shots before this man ripped off Tenet and ripped off Tokyo Drift and made Tenet.
Yeah, Fast and Furious didn't come out yet. Let's go get a tattoo.
I think his flashbacks, his flashback sequences are much better now. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that might be a budgetary thing. I'm thinking specifically of Inception. There we go. There we go.
There it is.
The end.
Associate producer Emma Thomas.
Where was I?
Where was I? So, guys, welcome to Memento. We're gonna talk about this fantastic film.
Now we're gonna watch the movie in chronological order. So this podcast is hosted and edited by Pat Brennan. That's me, with intro and closing music by Patrick Baxter.